Well, it is Friday. I hope you guys enjoyed your Thanksgiving. We had a great Thanksgiving with family and friends, and all I know is it is time to get my house back in order. I'm sure I'm not the only one today pulling out our cleaning gear and just needing a whole house reset. So I figured today was the perfect day. I have put together some of my best deep cleaning, like thorough cleaning motivation. That way you and I can get up together and get our houses back in order. This is over 2 hours of, like I said, deep cleaning, decluttering, organizing, everything you need to get your house back up and ready and start working on the next holiday that is going to be just around the corner. So if you guys are ready to get into it, let's do this.
Really, when it comes, and we've talked, being and helping her for a couple weeks now, she flat out said, she's like, when it comes to like organization, she's like, I'm pretty good at that. And she is. Like, when it comes to her room, the main living areas, yes, the kids' rooms were a little crazy, but I feel like that's very common because we're not the only ones buying for our kids. There's also grandparents and aunts and uncles, and it can get crazy quickly. And when I looked into her closets, because trying to figure out where like the vacuum and stuff went, she is organized, and she really just needed help with the deep cleaning. This is where she's getting extremely overwhelmed, but she's got 2 toddlers. And I don't know about you, but toddlers are a lot. Like, it is a lot to keep up with 2 little ones running around, still in high chairs and all the things. So I just wanted to come in here and give her this deep clean. This is the one thing she flat out said. She's like, I love this series and watching these videos. She's like, because now I can watch them and actually know what I need to do. And I feel like that is so important. And often we get online and there's a lot of judgment and things like that. But sometimes it really is just a situation of people not knowing where to start, where to begin. There's so many different areas. You guys know my rule here. We go back to elementary school. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. We like to come in and just be that helping hand. Be able to come in without any emotional attachments, just very strategic, and get the job done and help out where someone needs it. So that is all I was doing today, but I also really love doing this. I enjoy this transformation so much. Like, if I'm going to clean a dirty house, I want it to be messy and cluttered and dirty, because that is so much more enjoyable. And I know that sounds silly and crazy, but the before and afters of projects like this are so satisfying to me. They are absolutely the best. So I am going to be moving furniture, really getting in here and getting everything in order. I didn't know how much I was going to get done on this day. I had about 3 or 4 hours. But I wanted to make sure that the rooms that I did do, that we are doing a very thorough job. I do wish I would have brought my little portable carpet machine, though, to clean the carpets. And next time I go over here, I may bring that just to do a quick cleaning on this little dining area and stuff like that. But I didn't. And that made me like really sad, because I'm like, oh, I wish I had my carpet upholsterer cleaner, because I feel like this would have gotten so good with a good cleaning, because it was that nice like denim material. And denim material usually cleans up really, really well. Now, when it comes to cleaners, I have a basic set of cleaners that works on pretty much everything. So I have my Pine Sol, my multi-purpose cleaner that I use on practically everything. That is in my spray bottle. I also have a spray bottle of vinegar, Dawn, and water. That is great for areas that you want to be a little bit more delicate with. It also works really, really well on glass fixtures and stuff like that. And then I bought brought my power paste. Power paste and a scrub mommy. That stuff works so well to get out so many different things. I do still need to get more melamine sponges. Melamine sponges, first of all, if you don't know, they're just magic erasers. I get them off of Amazon though, because if you love magic erasers, go to Amazon, type in melamine sponges. They are so much cheaper, and it's really just because most people don't know what they actually are. Everyone knows them as magic erasers, but they're just a melamine sponge, and you can get like a pack of 50 for so cheap. And I just haven't reordered it because I had that pack and it had lasted me so long, and now I just keep forgetting. And honestly, I'm talking about it now while doing this voiceover, and I swear probably by the end of this voiceover I will have probably forgotten again. Hopefully not. Cross my fingers that when I'm done here I can go order some because they are the best to have on hand. But all that to be said, if you don't have a melamine sponge, but you have a scrub mommy or scrub daddy and some power paste, that stuff works really, really well.
Love is like a roller coaster, but I'm trying to hold on. I don't want it to stop. Even though we fight sometimes and it feels like a war zone, I still care about us. How do you move on when everything goes wrong? I'm trying to find a way to get you out my head. Don't know how to...
Now, I often say when cleaning my house that it's great to work from top to bottom. But when I am at other people's houses, depending on the situation, often floors can get really grimy and stuff. I like to go in and vacuum multiple times. And you're going to see that sometimes I vacuum in the beginning, sometimes I vacuum 3 times during a situation. And it's because I like to pick it up as I go, because otherwise it really does get tracked all over the place. So you're going to see me doing a lot of vacuuming just to keep up with it. But that is also another reason why I love this series is if you have a routine down, I feel like watching me clean my house is great because just the things you don't always think about cleaning, getting different techniques and routines in. But sometimes there are a lot of people that are in situations like this and just don't know where to start. And if you are in that situation, like, I don't want you to feel bad about your situation and like you're alone. This is such a common place for people. And there's so many different reasons. I have worked with dozens of people over the years, and everyone has their own situation. And I feel like we can't judge someone until we've really lived their life. It's really easy for people to be like, oh, well, let's say me. I have 4 kids and animals and blah, 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 but I can keep up with it. But there's so much more to people than just that. And I hate the comparison game that so often is given because I'm not living your life. I don't know what you're going through. And sometimes it's not about what you're going through. Sometimes it's the way you were brought up. Were you brought up knowing what things to stay on top of so it doesn't get overwhelming? There's just been so many different situations in the years that I've been doing this that I don't like to judge anyone. I just like to come in here, get it done, and hopefully this is that starting point that someone needed to be able to start over and now be able to keep up with stuff and just really make it so much easier for someone. I also know that when you have little kids, things can get so tiring so quickly. I swear, I am always tired. Like, always tired. It does not matter how much sleep I've gotten the night before. I'm going to be tired the next day, and it's always that little game of, okay, where am I going to put my energy today? Like, am I going to put my energy towards my kids? Am I going to put my energy towards maintaining my house? Like, yesterday, we went and hung out with my sister and niece. She is in town, and that was all we did. Because honestly, I had no more energy to do anything other than hang out with them for the day. And that's how I think a lot of women, like, it can be exhausting, and sometimes we're just trying to survive. Also, who can relate to a sofa like this? I feel like this is so relatable when you have little kids. If you don't take your cushions off, like, at least once a month, this is so relatable, because I am also someone that I allow my kids to eat in the family room. It doesn't bother me. And this goes so quickly between, like, little toys and things like that. So I honestly just giggled when I said this. I saw this. I'm like, oh yeah, this is relatable. All the little Cheerios and Barbie toys and her son's glasses, which my son loses his glasses all the time. So once again, super relatable. All the things that end up under those couch cushions. It's always crazy how much can really sneak under and hide.
For the first time in ages, I wake up and don't hate it. I guess I found some peace. Through the day to the evening, without shouting and screaming, something new to me. Alone without being lonely, getting back to the old me. It's kinda nice to feel free. I thought this was over, thought I could control it.
I know you guys are always so supportive and awesome over here. That's why I love this community so much. I feel like this community is the best community on the internet. Like, we have really built up a women that are just looking to support each other and not throw shade and judgment at everyone. And I love that so much. And I just want to ask you guys, if you guys have been watching this series, you know there's another woman that I am currently helping, and this process has been really overwhelming for her. So I actually have not been back there now in a couple of weeks, and I'm hoping that she can, like, get that peace she needs right now. It's just been, work has been a lot for her. Everything with her house has been overwhelming, and I would really appreciate your guys' good thoughts and prayers and everything for her. And I know she would really appreciate it, because I just, when texting her and talking with her and just checking in and making sure that she's okay, I can just tell she is feeling so stressed out and so overwhelmed. So if you guys could keep her in your thoughts and everything, I just know that all of this can be so much, and then you just add on often what these people are going through in their private lives, and it can be crazy. I know she was dealing with getting out of an abusive relationship, losing half of her stuff, and now trying to figure out how to organize a much smaller, newer place, not knowing what she had, what she didn't have, because nothing that she has was packed. It was just kind of tossed at the side of the road, and it's just so much. So I would really appreciate your guys' thoughts and prayers for her, because I know currently she is just trying to survive. So I would greatly appreciate that. Like I said, I know this is the best community. You guys are all so amazing and always in the comments, so sweet and nice, and making sure that people that come here that don't know the rules, that we are kind over here. We don't yell at each other, and we don't throw shade and judgment and all of those things. You guys, like, are helping me keep my rules in place, because I think that is so important. When I've worked with people, often the biggest fear is the fear of being judged, and so many people just need a little help without being scolded like someone is their mother. And I love being able to come in here and just do that. And you know what? I get joy out of it, it's helping someone out, all of those things. So it's one of those things that it's definitely something I don't want to lose. But all that is be said, you guys are amazing. Also, how relatable is this? How do kids get stuff under the rug so easily? All the little snacks and everything that had gotten under the rug, I'm just going through and cleaning up as well. Like I said, we're doing a more thorough cleaning on this day because that is what was needed. She didn't need a lot of decluttering and organizing and stuff like that. She just needed a good reset. Get the house clean, get it reset for her, and that's what I'm doing. Those areas you don't always think about. When's the last time you lift up your rug and cleaned underneath it? I will say this was another situation where I'm like, oh, I wish I had my power washer. Take this rug outside, power wash it. There is nothing more satisfying than power washing your rugs. I actually have to do that to my living room and dining room rug. But if you watched when I did our bedroom makeover, I did it to our bedroom rug, and it's so satisfying, especially if you have pets, which I do. That rug looked brand new by the time I was done with it, and I loved it. You'll see me coming in and out with either her vacuum or my vacuum. I love my Shark. It is amazing, but it is cordless, so the battery was dying. And a corded vacuum just has more power sometimes. So I would go around with some of the bigger stuff often and use hers just to really pull it up. But what I like about my Shark is it is a Shark Duo. So it has the normal beater bar that is on all vacuums, but then it has a front row, which is a soft roller, and that works so well on hard floors and picking up the little things. It's funny because those big vacuums work really well with suction and everything, but sometimes the beater bar just kind of throws stuff around because it is so aggressive. And it's great for carpeting because you don't get that same ability to just throw stuff, but when you're on hard floors, you'll have things just flinging. So working with both of these vacuums together was kind of the perfect duo.
We're falling out, we have reached disaster. Don't know where we're gonna be after. And we do it all again and again and again and again. Again and again and again and again. We're falling down, we fading. But I know that we can save it. Cause we're like Alpha and Omega. Whatever happens doesn't matter, I know we can sort it out. Alpha and Omega. Even if we go all out and break us down, I know we are Alpha and Omega.
Always good to have some sort of scrubber on hand. Should have brought my mop socks. Would have made this a lot easier. You guys know I love my mop socks. They're amazing. But often when I'm in other people's houses, I just keep my flip-flops on. I am one of these people that I hate wearing shoes. You guys know this. But I do try and wear shoes even in other people's houses, even if they're not closed-toed shoes. But yes, mop socks, they're the best when it comes to cleaning. But if you're ever washing the floors and you have some areas that are just really stubborn, this is when I want you to take a breath, relax, spray that spot with a multi-purpose cleaner or something like that, and walk away. So often we nowadays look for instant gratification that we forget to let our products work, and sometimes letting the products just sit there and really work makes such a huge difference instead of really scrubbing. So you'll actually see I did that in the kitchen, the family room, those areas. There were a couple areas that were pretty on there, and I sprayed, let it sit, and then went back. But in the kitchen, I actually did that right away. Like before I started doing anything, I went in there and sprayed areas that I could tell were going to be a little bit harder to clean up, a little bit stickier. That's normal in kitchens. So I knew if I did that first, it would give that product time to sit and really do its work and make everything so much better.
Alpha and Omega. Even if we go all out and break us down, but we can work it out. Alpha and Omega. Alpha and Omega.
Can you guys believe it is already mid-June? I feel like the first of this year was going so slow, and now the year has just flown by. I was talking to Bobby yesterday. I'm like, it's crazy because it's going to be July soon. In the end of July, we're going on a trip to the mountains with Bobby's family. It's like not really like a full family reunion, but it's going to be his brothers and sisters, their significant others, and kids. And Bobby's got a big family like I do. So when you just get all of the immediate family together, one, that's hard enough, but there's also so many of us, and then you start adding in grandkids. Now, it's only Bobby's brother and him so far that have had kids, but his brother's got 2 girls, and then we have the 4 kids, and then you have, so in Bobby's family, he's the oldest, and then he's got a brother next, and then a sister, and then another brother and another sister. So there's 5 kids total. So you get the 5 of them plus their significant others, and then the grandkids, and then their parents. It's going to be so much fun, but so chaotic at the same time. But all that to be said, like, time is going so quickly. Like, it's insane how fast everything goes. Plus, right now, we have been looking at property and land. Still don't know quite what we're doing, when we're going to do it, all this stuff. But you guys, I think I've talked about this so much. Like, I love the idea of a homestead, and really the biggest thing is just getting back into country living. And sometimes I say that and people are like, country living? You've never really lived in the country. Because our old house, we lived in a subdivision, but we lived in a subdivision in a little town called Watertown, and it's tiny. Like, there's not it wasn't a big city. You had to drive 30-45 minutes really to get into any of the bigger cities. And if you wanted to get to like the big cities like Milwaukee and Madison, it was over an hour. And I loved that. I am not a city girl. I don't like the crazy hustle and bustle. I don't like the traffic, all of those things. And that is one thing that we're really hoping for. But at the same time, I told Bobby, I'm like, if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. When we moved down here, we bought this house without even seeing it, which I know that is crazy. I always tell my parents, I'm like, I must trust you because I bought this with you guys seeing it and some photos. Now, we obviously got an inspector and everything, and Bobby and I knew there was a lot of projects coming into this house, so we were definitely prepared. But we bought this house with the idea of, okay, let's get to Florida, and then we can learn the area. We can learn, where do we want to live? What do we want? All of those things. And since moving back into, and now where we live, it's not big city, but it's definitely not small town country life. And we've just decided we want to get back to that. We really want to get back to a more simple situation and everything. So we've been doing that. It's just been crazy this summer, so much, because I also know, like, if we're going to move, obviously you want to move before the start of the next school year. So if it doesn't happen if we don't find a place within the next couple of weeks, then we're going to wait until next year to start looking again, which is totally okay. Like I said, I am in no huge rush. But if nothing happens next year, I also don't want to move the kids once they're in high school. I feel like high school is one of those times in your life where you really start figuring things out, making those connections and everything with other people. And I don't want to move the kids around during high school. So I am not on a time frame, but I am kind of on a time frame, because if we move, it will be in the next 2 years. And if it's not in the next 2 years, then we kind of have to wait till we have all the kids out of school, which sounds crazy because we got Xander, who is going to be 13, and then Athena, who's not even a year old. So we got a lot of time left for that. However, as you can see, we have moved into the kitchen. You saw me do a quick spot clean, like I said earlier, on the floors. Not spot clean, but just like a pre-treat. That's probably a better word. Pre-treat on the floors. And now I just wanted to clean up all the dishes. It was funny because when she got home, she texted me. She's like, you didn't have to do my dishes. I'm like, I know I didn't have to. I'm like, but I also know after a long day, being able to come home and not see a sink full of dishes, like, I feel like for me, that would be like the best gift of all, is not seeing all the dishes from breakfast and stuff still in the sink. Now, I didn't put all the dishes away because I didn't know where they went, but just being able to have them washed and all she had to do when she got home was put them away. Like I said, I know that's something that I would really, really appreciate. But you can see the big thing here was just trying to get these floors all clean and everything and vacuumed up from all the little treat messes and everything from the littles. And I wanted to, like before, go in and give a lot of these areas just a quick vacuuming. That way I'm not like tracking stuff from one area to the next that I've already worked on. Trying to pick up some of the bigger stuff as I went. But that is why like I said, you see me doing multiple passes with the vacuum, is it's really me not wanting to track it from one area to the next and everything like that. And just trying to go around those edges that if you use a vacuum, sometimes they don't get. So you gotta get in there with the different tools and really get all the edges under the appliances nice and clean.
Car, but we hit the road. Doesn't matter where we go and destination or no. I don't care where the motor stops. Cause when I want it, then I want it. Yeah, I want it. Oh, I want it. Let's go. Look around, where's the people at? I want a taste of the good life. Hit me with it right now, in it. Cause when I want it, then I want it. Yeah, I want it. Oh, I want it. Let's go. And I won't look back, yeah. I don't care about the back home. It's Cincinnati, baby. I just want.
So when it comes to kitchens, there are a couple cleaners that work really well if you are starting from a position of having some harder things to clean. One of those is oven cleaner. Now, I know oven cleaner gets a very bad name. It is a harsh chemical. It is. But I will say the no fume oven cleaner works really well. And it definitely is a huge difference from, oh, that is when my vacuum had just died. Should have brought the second battery. So we brought in the big guy again to do these floors. But oven cleaner, especially if you have a glass stovetop. Once again, I did not bring it on this day. I just brought the basics. One of those things of I didn't know exactly where I was going to be working and everything. And yeah, should have brought oven cleaner. But I do plan on going back here. So the nice thing is now that I've done this cleaning, I kind of have like, okay, what else do I need? I know I want my spot upholstery cleaner. I know I want oven cleaner. But another really good product. Now, when I clean my cabinets, but I clean my cabinets fairly often, I will just use multi-purpose cleaner, just my Pine Sol and everything. And when you stay on top of it, that works really well. In this house, the cabinets weren't too bad. But if you are dealing with a lot of grease and grime buildup, and this might sound funny because this cleaner actually comes from the dollar store, but it works so well. The Awesome Cleaner from the dollar store, it comes in a concentrated bottle, and that's actually really nice because depending on how bad the area is, can depend on how concentrated you make it. You can really tailor it to your space, but I have used that stuff, and it really does work great. I have tried different dollar store stuff, and there's definitely some dollar store stuff that I'm like, okay, yeah, I wouldn't use this again. And there are others that it really is as good as they say. You don't see me use Awesome Cleaner often just because it's not something that I need for my house. But I have used it in the past. Actually, one of the areas I first tried it was actually at my grandmother's house. And my grandma's a pretty clean person. Even in her older age, she still hires, because she can't do it herself anymore, someone to come out. I think it's every week. It might be every other week, to give her house a good cleaning. And I've gone in there, my sisters have gone in there just to help with some of those tedious deep cleaning projects to keep the house in good condition. But her house is older. Her and my grandpa lived in that house for many, many years together until my grandfather had passed. And you can just imagine the buildup from years and years and years. And that awesome cleaner works so good on her kitchen cabinets to really just get decades and decades of grease buildup off of those cabinets.
Live your life within the moment, and don't go wait until the morning. You never know when it is over. All that I know is we'll get older. So let us dance this night
Now, I would love to know, where do you struggle at in your house? Because I feel like everyone's a little bit different. Like I said with this mama, when it comes to like staying more minimal and organization, she is organized. She really is. Look at this cabinet. I loved this little section of her kitchen. I'm like, this is the cutest thing ever. She's like, yeah, this is my wanting to be a homesteader life right here in this corner. And I loved it so much. All her fresh fruit and vegetables, her farm fresh eggs, her different grains and stuff she had decanted into those mason jars. It was the cutest thing ever. And she struggled with cleaning, the deep cleaning projects, those things you don't think about. I would love to hear, what do you struggle with? Is it organizing? Is it decluttering? Is it deep cleaning? Like, when you're really thinking about it and getting down to it, what is the areas that are stopping you from doing so much more? Because sometimes it's like, oh, well, I don't do anything. But really, it's not that you don't do anything. It's that all the stuff makes it hard to clean. But if you had the helping hand of someone to help you know how to declutter, what to declutter, give you the motivation of it's okay to let these things go, the cleaning would come more naturally. I feel like we are all a little bit different. You can see I am improvising here. I put one of my microfiber cloths on the floor and was using my foot to scrub up the last little bits of things. But I wanted to finish this day off by just giving everything a good room spray and freshening. I am someone that when I have been cleaning all day, I want the house to smell clean. So I love going around with a good just room freshener and freshening it all up. And I want to do the same for her. I found this Mr. bottle actually under the sofa. So I cleaned it, I refilled it, and I'm like, I'm going to leave that here for you. It's one of my favorite room sprays, and hopefully you enjoy. But I'm going to do all the befores and afters here because I feel like this is the best part of any video. But if you made it this far, drop me this emoji down below. If you're new here, I'd love if you would subscribe and join us over here on this channel. Like I said, not to brag, but this is the best community online. I swear. You guys are absolutely amazing. Like, comment, share, all those things. It really helps out my channel. But otherwise, I'll see you guys in the next one. Enjoy your weekend. Bye.
It's the attention that we wish that we had. Yeah, it's almost cruel, 'cause I want her to. Oh yeah, I'm running in circles just to make her react. My heart is racing, yeah, I want her so bad. I wanna kiss her, but I know for a fact that she's way too cool. But I want her to. Everyone's taking their shot, showing all that they got. is in the cut. I think she knows that she drives him crazy when she's looking like that. The way she's moving makes her want it so bad. Gets the attention that we wish that we had. Yeah, it's almost cruel, 'cause I want her to. Oh yeah, running in circles just to make her react. My heart is racing, yeah, I want her so bad. I wanna kiss her, but I know for a fact that she's way too cool. But I want her to. Oh yeah. Guess I want her to. Oh
So I have had a list of deep cleaning projects I have been wanting to get done for some time, and I figured there is no better time than the present. So I'm taking you guys along this entire week of me just tackling all these things on my to-do list that I have been putting off for the longest amount of time. One of the things was these outside windows. I do love this Windex spray. It's so easy to use. Now, do I think it compares to taking the screens off, washing it by hand, and doing all of that? No. By far, that is still the best way to get in there and make sure it's really clean. But this works well, and it's so easy. Literally, all you do is there's a little knob on the top where you can set it to rinse. You rinse it, and then you soap it real well. And then I let it sit with that soap and go around and do all the windows like that, and then come back and do a secondary rinse. And it dries streak free. Works, like I said, so well. And not only does it clean your windows, but it then cleans the tracks and the screen all at the same time. I still like getting out here at least once a year and doing a more thorough cleaning, but a couple times a year coming out here like this, one bottle easily does our entire house, and I usually still have some left over in the bottle. And I notice a huge difference. I am a sucker when it comes to natural light in the house. So I love being able to clean the inside and outside of the windows. And certain windows in our house are easy to clean the inside and outside, but there are other ones that are just harder to get at and a lot more difficult to do. And then obviously the screens, those are just a pain. Bobby can get them on and off pretty easily, but I always struggle. So coming out here every couple of months and doing this, I notice makes a huge difference. You can see we have our lawnmower going at the same time. That thing, I am obsessed with it. I absolutely love it. I run it literally like every other day, and it works so well with keeping the house just looking so good when it comes to curb appeal and everything. But moving on to the dog's room, this is a couch in their room that Bailey uses basically like a giant dog bed, and I have needed to clean it so bad. It gets covered in dog fur like none other. It does clean pretty easily, and I come out here on a regular basis and vacuum it and everything like that. But I love that it completely comes apart like this, and I can do a deep clean wash on it every couple of months, because just getting that dog smell out of your house, I'm always like very cautious of what my house smells like. And especially since putting our house on the market, obviously those are things I think about. I don't want people coming into the house and right away smelling dog. There's only so much you can do about it. But I have learned over the years that washing the fabrics in your house, if it's beddings, blankets, upholstered furniture, it does make a massive difference.
Let me know, do you feel me too? Let it show, babe, I'm into you.
Here you can see just how much dog fur and even dog food is underneath this couch. It is insane how much gets under here, even with trying to keep up on it. The food is definitely a mini thing. She loves hiding food, treats, random pieces of kibble. I don't know what that girl's thinking, if she's like preparing for the apocalypse and when we don't have food anymore, but she's constantly pretending to dig and hide stuff. And I always find treats all over the place. So I was not surprised to find the dog food underneath all of these cushions. But moving in, oh, you can see little Athena was distracted by the vacuum running out in the dog room. She loves the robot vacuums. I just have to keep her away from them because otherwise she tries to like grab them as they are running. She's just obsessed with those. But when it comes to doing this, pull out all the stops. Like I'm using laundry detergent, I'm using scent beads, I like to use borax, all the things that can really help with deodorizing, brightening, and then just adding an extra fresh scent to all of it. But I did notice that all my containers were getting a little low, so I also wanted to give a good restock to those.
To make up our minds. Some say that's the little things. I say that's a big old ring. Anything to hear you say I do. It ain't the way that you see me. It ain't the way that you kiss. It ain't the way that you please me.
One thing I have learned in this room, though, is you cannot just depend on pulling this sofa out. So I got the boys involved to help lift it. It's a 2-piece sectional, so you need 2 people to hold it up, one for each side. You can see, though, I call them our snakes underneath our furniture because it's literally all the fur that just like twists up on itself underneath the sofa, but you can't just slide out. You literally have to lift up the sofa. And watching this back, I wish I would have gotten under there a little bit better to notice all the hair that was stuck on like the legs and stuff, but I wasn't looking at that. I was looking at the ground. Either way, I was happy to get that because just think of the odor that builds up on the dog hair just sitting under your furniture. So to be able to get under there, get all those little fur snakes out and give it a quick mop, it literally makes instant change of how this room smells. This is our pet room. So we keep dog food out here. We keep the bird food out here, their treats. Like I said, Bailey sleeps on that couch. It's his favorite area to just kind of go and relax. So this room definitely is one we have to stay on top of a little bit more to keep it smelling nice. But that is one reason why I love tile out here. You can see Bailey, cushions or not, this is his couch and he wanted to lay on it. Oh, it was funny. Every time a load got done, I came out. This is actually the hardest part of cleaning it. It's not the taking the stuff off and putting it in the wash and everything. It's the putting them back on. This is sped up, 10 or 8 times because it takes me forever to stuff it all back in. But that's why I like to do when a load is done, I do it right away. That way I'm never doing a ton at a time, but it keeps me on top of it. And once again, Bailey's on his couch. He was more happy at this point because he had cushions on here. But I think he was starting to get annoyed of me every time I came out here, and I didn't have to move him, but he kind of realized pretty quickly as I was doing stuff that he had to get out of the way to put the cushions and everything back on the sofa.
She goes her own way, like I don't give a damn, girl. And my God, she owns it. So many heartbreaks, goes back to 2014, and I think that she knows it. And if you've seen her, I know that you would believe it, 'cause I know that you'd want her to. Yeah, I do. Everyone's taking their shot, but missing out on the cut. I think she knows that. She drives some crazy.
As you can see by the final round, actually I say final round, I was also washing the pillows, but I was actually threw the entire pillow into the wash and not just the covers. I usually do every other when it comes to that. At one time, I will do just the pillow covers, but then the next time I will do pillows and all. But that takes a little bit longer to do because of drying time. You obviously want to make sure your pillows are completely dry. But we are back at it another day. Like I said, this is a week of projects. This is one of those things of there's just no way to do all these projects in one day on top of just daily routine stuff. So they get spread out. That way I'm never feeling super overwhelmed. If I can do just like one big project a day, it makes my life so much easier. But we've been wanting to power wash our pool area. Between the dogs coming in and out, the kids coming in and out, this area just gets full of dirt and sand and everything. I will say though, this attachment for our power washer is one of the best investments we ever made, and I wish we would have invested in it so much sooner. I love this for cleaning your patio. I also love it for cleaning rugs. You're going to see that later. It's my new favorite way to do a good deep clean on a rug is using a power washer with this attachment. It goes so quick and you don't have to use any soap. But even here on the cement, just to get all those creases and crevices, and it's so much faster than just using the little wand where it's like, I feel like when you use the wand, it takes so long because it's such a small section at a time. And this gives a much larger area, and I feel like I have a lot more control over it. It has been so hot outside, though, that I usually don't wear tank tops. I'm not a huge fan of wearing tank tops, but it's been so hot this day when I knew I was going to be doing this outside. I'm like, yeah, there's no way. If I am working outside, I am wearing a tank top because there's just sometimes comfort. Physical comfort is so much more important. And for me, I was just in my backyard. So I know some people get uncomfortable about seeing shoulders, and I apologize for that. But I was not about to have it where I was sweating like crazy on this day. I did try to avoid a lot of the water going into the pool, but at the same time, I knew there was going to be some going in there, and Bobby had planned for that also, so he made sure to put our robot vacuum in the pool right away to help with that, as well as made sure to use chemicals that night to help counteract all the water, dirt, hair, sand, all the stuff that I know ended up back into the pool from doing this. I will say one nice thing about putting your house on the market is it kind of gives you that motivation to tackle projects that you have been putting off. The great thing is Bobby and I don't know if we're going to sell this fall or not. Our house is on the market right now. However, kids start school in our area August 11th. So we have that in mind also. We don't want to be moving our kids mid-school year. I just don't feel like that is fair to do to them. So if our house does not sell in the next 2 weeks, we do plan on taking our house off the market till the springtime. And at that point, we will try again. But with the kids in school and everything, and the holidays are just around, it's like the kids start back to school and it's like holiday countdown between Thanksgiving and Halloween and Christmas and all of the things. And we also have birthdays in there. So we have decided that if it doesn't sell in July, if it sells end of July, we would still have to move the kids once the school year has started, but it'd only be a couple weeks into the new school year, so we're not too worried about that. But anything past like August, September, we're like, okay, we don't want to do that to the kids. Obviously, trying to keep their best interests at like sight. Oh, by the way, I told you guys how Xander, my oldest, was getting tested for the gifted program. So I actually just had his evaluation just this week with the school psychologist. And they do like a IQ test, something like that. I wasn't in the room, so I don't know exactly, but some sort of test. And so I guess to be considered gifted, you have to score a 127 or higher. He ended up scoring a 131. I am not surprised. I always say how smart he is. His brain is just obviously very analytical, and he's just a very intelligent boy, and I am not surprised by that at all. But I did learn the nice thing about him having that evaluation done is he is currently in all the advanced classes, but it kind of puts him on priority. So if a advanced class was full, it's always filled first with kids on the gifted spectrum before anyone else. So it just makes sure that he's always in those advanced classes and getting his full potential used at school. So I'm very happy with that. Like I said, not surprised. He's always been a very smart boy. We've known at a very young age. We actually started noticing in kindergarten because he started falling behind, but it felt like he was just bored. So not surprised, but yeah. Now on to my car. I have literally been telling Bubby I need to clean out this car for months now, but it's been so hot that I have been putting it off, and finally, we went to the car wash, and it's like, okay, if you and I tackle this together, we should be able to get it done pretty quickly. We've had beach days and all sorts of stuff, and it's just gotten out of control. Trash isn't too bad. I try and keep up on it. There's still trash in here. This is a real-life mom car, so I have extra napkins and straws and so many random things in here, but the biggest thing that was driving me crazy was all the sand from our sand trips. I did decide I was just getting rid of the straws. I don't know what it is when I go to any fast food place, but the extra straws and extra napkins, I always feel like I have to keep on hand. The napkins I laugh about probably the most because I'm like, I always have wipes on me. Always. And I always use a wipe over a dry napkin, but I still feel like, well, you never know, just in case, keep them on hand. And I end up with an abundance of them in the car. But just going around and really giving this a good vacuum, you can see just all the sand from the different trips we have taken and everything. And the other big thing that why we want to get done is we're going to Tennessee in just a couple of weeks now for a family vacation. And I'm like, okay, we really want to get the car clean so that when we go on vacation, even though it's going to get destroyed on the trip, I think it's about a 10-hour drive from our house to the place that we are staying at. It's nice to start with a clean slate, and this car wash is awesome because not only do we have the membership to get our car washed whenever we want, so I do it almost every day that I get the car washed, but they then also have the cleaners and rags and vacuums all on the backside that you can use for free also, and it does come in very handy. But like I said, it's always just been one of those things of I'm like, I've got so many other things to do. It is so hot outside that I don't want to do this. But on this day, we're getting it done. This is the week of tackling all of those projects that we have been putting off for the longest amount of time. Oh, that's the other thing. And I don't know if I told you guys. So I don't know what it was, but a couple weeks ago, I got a nail in my front tire. And it was so annoying because it was in a spot that I couldn't just get it patched. So I had to get a new tire. That was an expense I was not expecting. But literally 2 days later, I got a nail in the opposite side tire as well. And I was like, okay, what is going on? Trying to get this car like in order, got the oil changed, we cleaned it out, and then the nails and everything, but I was like, man, I don't know what's going on. I do not drive through like construction sites to be getting nails in my tires all the time, but it was just an ongoing occurrence. Luckily, the second nail was only in an area that we could patch it, and we had a warranty on our tires that if it needed to get patched, that it was free. So I only had to buy one new tire, and the other one was able to get patched, but I was like, what is going on? Where are all of these nails coming from? It makes sense. Like way back when we got our roof replaced, nails being around the house is pretty common. Even though they go through with the magnet, some get lost and stuff, but that like hasn't been the case. So I don't know what the deal was, but you can see Bobby and I both just working together to get this done. It probably took us about 30 minutes, even with the two of us, and it looked and smelled so much better. Even one of the attendants came out and gave us a car freshener. So the car felt clean, it smelled clean. Now, obviously, I could definitely go in and do a much more detailed clean, especially if I had my steamer and stuff. Steamer and car cleaning, oh, that is like the best way to clean your car, because all those little cracks and crevices that are so hard to get into, the steam cleaner is the best for just like blasting it out and making it work so well. So this was more of just a surface cleaning. You can only get so much of it, but it still made a massive difference in the end.
Went for a walk with the stars last night. Did not believe that I would end up right. Lucky endings were not something for me. I drove around all across the land. Thought that I was caught in a one-man band, but playing all those sad and lonely.
I think you're getting the whole routine now. We are on with another day, and on this day, I was tackling this rug. This rug is great and not great all at the same time. It doesn't look that dirty, and I love that about this rug, that it does not look that dirty. But I can also say that often I don't realize how dirty it is till I start cleaning it, and you're gonna see what I mean here in a short bit, because I'm taking this thing outside and I'm giving it its good deep cleaning that it truly needs. I come in here fairly regular with a carpet shampooer, and that's a great like surface cleaning, but I feel like it doesn't ever get it like completely clean, where this method works absolutely amazing. But first things first, we are giving it a thorough vacuum cleaning. Now this is sped up, but I like to do this fairly slow. We're getting out as much dirt and dog hair and everything as possible. And then I also like to go at different directions. So I'll go at one direction and then vacuum it at a whole nother direction to just really make sure that we're pulling up all those fibers, all the different dog hair and everything. I notice it really makes a difference. And I like to, when I do my first go around, I like to empty the canister, because I'm just always curious about how much I can pick up the second time around. So did it need to be emptied? Not really, but I do enjoy emptying it and then seeing how much is still left in the carpet, going over it again. But I feel like this is probably one of the most important steps when you are shampooing a carpet. I always think of it like this. If you're going outside and you're peeling and there's dirt and everything all around and it's a hot sunny day, it's just like powder. Think of that of your rug. You're going to have dirt and stuff in your rug. It's just natural, especially if you have kids and pets. It just happens. But if it then rains, that dirt turns into mud, and it is so much harder to clean up. Once again, same thing with your rug. So we're going to try and get as much of that dirt, hair, grime out of the rug before we put water in it, which will often just embed whatever's in it even further.
My hope was gone. My dreams were shattered and I was done. I was roaming down the street in my weary feet.
Before carrying it outside, though, I did want to quickly just spray off, not spray, but blow off the driveway. That way it's not getting any more dirt and grime. The driveway wasn't that bad, but naturally there's just going to be leaves and dirt and just random stuff from it being outside. So I blew it off. Then Bobby helped me bring out the rug. And now I'm not using any soap or anything on this rug. I am purely using the power washer with the cement attachment. And you can just see here the massive difference it makes. Oh, and once again, this was a very hot day, which is a good and a bad thing. Bad thing because I doesn't have to spend a lot of time outside, and I was just sweating profusely. Good thing because the rug dries nice and quickly, but I go over this very slowly, and each area I do about 2 swipes to really help with it, and you can see massive difference. On the left, not even wet. On the right, wet. So you know when it comes to fabrics, usually they darken when they're wet. Yeah, so this just tells you how dirty this rug is. And I did not even realize how bad it was. I like to go over it really well, like I said. And then usually I would come out with a squeegee and try and squeegee as much out of it as possible. But it was actually drying so quickly in certain areas that the squeegee wasn't working. So you're going to see here in a second that I actually bring out the carpet shampooer, not so much to shampoo it, but to help suck up any remaining moisture inside the rug.
It's hard to stay real in a world full of fakes. It's hard to find truth when the liars are great. I'm trying my best to stay out of your way. Oh well, oh well. You talk a big talk, but got nothing to say. You hold your head high, but your morals to fade. I know you feel cool, but your bubble will break. Oh well, oh well. You can walk into a room, and every fool will try to be like you. But I'm not gonna sell my soul just to be someone.
All right, we're now bringing out the carpet shampooer. And like I said, we're just using this to extract. So I'm going over it really slow to pull up as much of the water in it as possible. The great thing about doing this outside is obviously if it's a nice, dry, hot day, the sun not only is going to dry it, but it actually works as a natural deodorizer and brightener. So if you have any stains or anything on your rug, just allowing it to dry in fresh air is going to help with stains, odors, anything like that. But obviously I don't want the rug to take hours and hours and hours to dry. So being able to bring this out, and this also then allows for me to pull out the dirty water because we've kind of just pushed it in with that power washer. So coming in and extracting all that dirty water is very important. I also was doing 2 rounds with the power washer. I wanted to power wash it and then extract all the moisture out of it and then bring the power washer out again and extract again. That way I knew this rug was getting as thoroughly cleaned as possible. The other great thing about this is when you use soap on your rugs, if you do not thoroughly rinse it and dilute that soap down, it'll often act as a magnet for even more dirt in the future. So this is a great way. Obviously, it's non-toxic. We're just using water, but also to prevent, make the life of your rugs, and we all know rugs can be expensive, last so much longer. When I did come out with the power washer again, though, I ended up doing it on a different angle. I wanted to do it this way. That way, I'm just disturbing those fibers in different angles, kind of like when I was using the vacuum. So went one direction the first time, and now I'm going another direction this second time. I definitely should have done a close-up of how dirty the water I was dumping was, but honestly, it was so hot outside. All I was thinking about was getting this done so I could get back inside. I love living down here in Florida because I do not like the cold, but I also do not do well in extreme heat. I am okay for a short amount of time, but there is a reason that Bobby does most of the outside work and I am usually working on the inside. But this water, oh, it was filthy. I probably could have done a third round, but I just honestly didn't think I had enough time to have it dry. I did not want to leave this outside overnight. I wanted to be able to bring it back inside that day. One thing I will say, if you don't let it dry enough outside before you bring it in, which I ended up doing because we had storm clouds rolling in, I was like, oh shoot, I don't really want this to get rained on, so let's bring it inside. We'll turn some fans on, our dehumidifier, things like that. You may end up with a musty smell, but that usually dissipates pretty quickly. But I did notice that, not a fan. I've never had that happen before, but I've also never had the situation where I didn't let it dry fully before bringing it inside. This day was just a unique circumstance because we didn't know it was supposed to rain, but hey, that's Florida for you. Sometimes you get those random pop-up showers, and that's what we got. So I brought it inside sooner than I normally would, and definitely was something that I noticed that difference.
Spinning like a broken record. For a player, you don't know that many major chords. We hang out and then you get bored, and you leave me here like I'm your landlord. You come back and say I'm sorry, boo, and I know you never mean it, gets you in though.
Well, I really hope you guys enjoyed today's video. I'm sure all of you have some of these deep cleaning projects on your to-do list that you've been wanting to tackle. And I hope this gave you the motivation to tackle those. Like I said, it doesn't all have to be done in one day. A lot of these projects honestly didn't take me as long as I expected or had built up in my head. So definitely if you have some on your to-do list, knock it out. It feels so good to get all of this done. But you guys know the deal. If you guys made it all the way to the end, make sure to drop this emoji down below. That way I know who all my true MVPs are. And if you're new here, I would love if you would subscribe. I post 2 videos a week. One that is a more at home, give you guys tips and tricks and all my craziness of being a mama for and everything I have to keep up with. But also I have my Helping Hand series that I post every week as well. But otherwise, I will see you guys on Tuesday with another Helping Hand video. Enjoy your weekend, and I'll see you next time. Bye.
You know I want you close, maybe hold your hand a little while. Somehow I know you're gonna be the girl that I'll end up.
Are you feeling completely unmotivated and wondering how so many people have the motivation to keep their house clean, especially when they've got kids and pets and 1,000,001 things to do? Well, today I am here to give you that motivation. We are getting so much done. I have been on overboard when it comes to cleaning the house. Big reason why is we are going on vacation and I need to make sure this house is in immaculate condition before we go. Since we have our house on the market, I know there's a chance that people are going to want to see our house while we are gone. So I am making sure that everything, top to bottom, is done before we leave. Plus, honestly, it's just really nice to come home to a clean and organized home after a long car ride. It's going to be 10 hours in the car with 4 kids. You can only imagine the chaos that that'll bring. So what are we doing today? We are tackling the bedroom. We are tackling the bathrooms. On top of that, I want to make sure that the kitchen is deep cleaned, as well as the family room and dining room. I have not gotten onto the shelves in a while now and giving it all a really good dusting. So I'm making sure to pull out all the stops. However, starting in the bedroom, I just stripped our bed real quick. I try and clean our bed at least once a week. I say try because I feel like we all have the best of intentions, but that doesn't always go as planned. So as much as possible that I can remember, there you can just see all the hair build up in my washer and dryer. I swear I run the cleaning mode on that almost weekly with the tablets just to keep up with all that dog hair throughout everything. But back into the bedroom, I'm using my Swiffer duster. Whenever I'm doing a good deep clean, I like to go through with my Swiffer dusters first, just to pick up as much of the dust and dog hair before going in with any wet cleaners. I find that this makes a massive, massive difference. If you have animals that shed a lot, you understand that keeping up with the fur and everything can in itself be a overwhelming task. Just look at my nightstand. And this is with me dusting practically every single day. But especially this time of year with it being so hot outside and everything, you can imagine Bailey, our St. Bernard, loses a lot of fur. And on top of that, Bobby brushes him with one of those like really cool vacuum pet brushes on a regular basis. But this is just normal mom life here, trying to keep up with everything.
I've been dreaming so much lately about your face when you're smiling. It's the only thing that saves me. Hey, I don't know if I told you that I think you're beautiful, and now I can't wait to hold you. Yeah, you pull me up.
I am always amazed at how much fur and dust and everything is collected on these things. So I want to give you guys a quick look at it all. But then I'm coming in and like I said, we are just cleaning off everything. So I am using on the glass my DIY glass cleaner. This can also be used as a multi-purpose cleaner. It's just Dawn vinegar and water. And I actually had someone recently ask about the measurements on that. So I'm not great at measurements. I eyeball everything. But basically what I do is about 1/3 of it vinegar, 2/3 of it water, and then about a tablespoon of Dawn. The Dawn is really where it can get iffy because if you use too much, you're going to notice streakier glass. However, you can kind of play with that. If you end up using too much, use it as a multi-purpose cleaner and then add vinegar and water if needed. But yeah, you have to be a little bit, I always say go with less and add if you need to, because yes, it can get very streaky and everything. And then just my Pine Sol multi-purpose cleaner for everything else. I also always like going in with a 2-cloth method when it comes to my glass to keep it really shiny and streak free. The first cloth being the one that's going to wash it, so get any buildup on the mirror off, and then the second cloth just to polish it and shine it and keep it completely streak free. I get my glass cloth cleaners right off of Amazon and just type in glass cloth cleaners, and that's how I found them. I honestly, and I am someone that I've used e-cloth in the in the past. Don't mind my fumble of words. And I honestly don't find any difference from an e-cloth to buying glass polishing cloths and doing this exact same thing. You can use them with just water. I often will use them if just dry, if I notice there's just like a smudge on a mirror or something. So I think e-cloths are awesome, but I also think nowadays especially you can find comparable items without the extreme price tag.
Yeah, it feels like I'm on cloud nine. Wouldn't lie to you, doesn't matter what I do. She's got a hold on me. She knows how to drive a truck, but she lets me pick her up when we're going down.
So I always have people ask me what is on in the background when I am cleaning, and I am someone that I love turning on other cleaning channels. Absolutely love it. And usually what I will do is I will find one of my like regular cleaning channels. I love Jessie at Home. I love Kim from the Wads, Amanda from This Crazy Life, and Lynn White. Those are like my ride or dies, the people I type in. However, I often will then just let it play to whoever is up next. And I love doing this because I find new cleaning channels on a regular basis that I really enjoy watching. And this is just something that just keeps me going. I do a lot of voiceovers in my videos, and I do this because that's what I enjoy. I enjoy cleaning and feeling like I just have a friend in the background chatting with me and hanging out, and that I'm not alone in the never-ending tasks of taking care of the home, because it's one of those things that it feels like it is never ending. I'm always doing dishes and always picking up after the kids and the pets and making dinner and all the things, and it's really nice to just have that in the background. Otherwise, if I don't have something like that in the background, I will turn on like 90s country or one of my guilty pleasure TV shows like The Real Housewives of wherever. I have seen them all. Anything like that I can have on and somewhat pay attention to, but for the most part, it's just kind of in the background. But into the bathroom, I wanted to do a more thorough deep cleaning in here. So once again, we are dusting everything first with my duster, Swiffer duster. I'm losing train of thought here. So going around everything. This I think is key in the bathroom if you deal with like dust and hair that builds up around your toilet and you can never get it clean. Dust it first. Absolutely dust it first, because that makes a massive difference that you don't just have all that hair. And I will be 100% honest, even when I do this, there's often still hair that just does not want to get picked up. I feel like it doesn't matter if I completely deep clean my house, it's still gonna have some dog fur and dog hair. Actually, my plan is once we sell this house, our hope is that we can stay in this house for an extra week after closing. One, to be able to move everything to the new place, but two, I want to be able to actually do a thorough cleaning without the animals here, because all they have to do is look at a room and their fur is in it. And I am definitely someone that when I sell a house, I want to make sure it is as clean as possible when I leave. And obviously that is so much easier to do when there is nothing in it.
Walking home late at night, maybe 2:30. A little drunk, but I'm alright, 'cause I've been hanging with you, and it feels like love. Tell me if I'm wrong, 'cause it feels like love. Yeah, it feels like love. Come on, come on, come on, come on, Come on, come on.
Don't know what you do, but you make me feel fine.
So I would love to know, especially if you are from Tennessee near like Dollywood area, what are some things that we should be doing on our trip? I may not be super active over here in the comments just because when this video is live, we will be there. But currently the only thing we really have planned is going to the Dollywood water park. I know some of the family wants to go whitewater rafting. That is not something I think we are going to do. I have seen too many movies of stuff like that going wrong, and Bobby and I are both like, yeah, that doesn't sound like a us thing to do. But I want to know what are some really cool areas, especially if it's budget friendly. We are going with my mother-in-law and father-in-law, my brother-in-law and his wife and their 2 daughters, and then my other brother-in-law and his girlfriend, and then my 2 sister-in-laws. One of them might be bringing their boyfriend, but I'm not 100% sure. So it is a big Airbnb that we are renting because there is going to be a lot of us, and just trying to figure out things that everybody would enjoy. Obviously, there's gonna be times where we just kind of go off and do our own things, but it'd be really nice to know of like anything that's really fun, family friendly, that we could go to as a group, or any really good restaurants to check out, because I am bringing all the things for like breakfasts and lunches and stuff like that. Actually, funny because yesterday when I put in the order for the stuff I wanted to get, because I've heard it's really expensive over there, so I wanted to get a lot of the groceries before we got there, at least the stuff that I don't need to worry about going in the fridge or the freezer. But I had the kids come. I'm like, okay, this is what I have on the list so far. Anything else we should get? And Freya was like, oh my goodness, why are you only buying good food? Like, I don't buy good food all the time, but you know how it is with 4-year-olds. And I had to explain, well, this is all for vacation. We're also making sure that there's enough that if your cousins grab some and stuff like that, that everyone is good. But even though we plan on obviously doing like breakfast and lunch, or maybe breakfast and dinner at the house, we'll probably eat out at least once a day while we're gone. And I'm thinking there's a good chance that we're going to be doing it as a group. We'll kind of go from there. But yeah, let me know all your recommendations. If you've been there before, if you live there, even better, because I feel like you guys are going to know like all the best places that maybe not everyone knows about. Let me know, because we have not honestly gone on like a vacation in many years. Usually what we call vacation is going to visit family. When we lived in Wisconsin, we came down here to Florida to visit my parents, and now that we live down here, often our vacations is going back to Wisconsin to visit family. So even though this is still kind of a mix because it's a like family vacation situation, it's going to be a lot of fun because it's at a big mountain cabin and in a state that we've driven through it, but we've never actually stayed there. So we are very excited.
For as long as I remember, it's been stuck inside my mind. You can't ask me to surrender when reaching for the dream keeps me alive. 'Cause it's keeping me alive. And a state might take me nowhere. Anywhere is better than the places I have been. Sunsets in my rearview mirror, a projection
I'll run in some
of
errands real quick. There's a couple things I need to do, especially before our trip. So I'm just out and doing that stuff. But I was also thinking, this year is the year of birthdays. every one of our kids, I think, is having like a big monumental birthday this year. It's Athena's first birthday. Obviously, that's huge. Freya turns 5, and I've always considered 5 a big birthday. Like, she started kindergarten, all of those things. Bjorn's hitting double digits. He's going to be at 10. And then I'm going to officially be a mother of a teenager. Xander is turning 13. However, with Xander, I'm trying to figure out what to do for his birthday. Obviously, he's at an age where he doesn't want like toys and things like that. But we've been trying to teach him like more and more responsibility. And I'm sure you guys have all used Cash App. You're buying something on Facebook Marketplace, Cash App, super easy. Buying a group gift for mom and dad, usually one of us buy it and the rest of us Cash App that person. That way it's a group gift. Things like that, which it works amazing for. I use it literally on a weekly basis. This year we decided we want to do something special for Xander's 13th birthday, and for the kid that only wants cash, we are going to be getting him his very own Cash App card. Cash App is awesome, not only for sponsoring today's video, but also because they now offer Cash App cards for kids. I love this idea of the Cash App card for him because not only can he pick the design, so he can pick the color, the patterns, make it totally cool and totally him, but it also, I think, is going to build responsibility, an understanding of money, and it's a safe way to start. And one of the best parts for me as the parent is every time he uses a card, I am going to get a real-time notification letting me know what and where he's spending this money on. So I can make sure he's being responsible, but it's also giving him that independence and freedom that I think is really important to instill at this age. Plus, Cash App has some really handy tools like setting savings goals. Also, when he lands his first job, obviously he's got a couple more years, but getting paid early. There's no hidden fees, there's no minimum balance. Just a super simple, easy way for him to start building money goals and healthy money habits. For a limited time only, new Cash App customers can use our exclusive code to earn some additional cash. For real, just download Cash App, use our exclusive referral code CASH10 in your profile, send $5 to a friend within 14 days, and you'll get $10 dropped right into your account. Terms do apply. Yeah, we're giving Xander his first real financial tool for his 13th birthday. That's money. That's Cash App. All right, now it is time to move into the shower. I'm giving this a complete clean out. I actually noticed this the other day because Bobby had mentioned when he was taking a shower that the water wasn't draining well. And I'm like, okay, well, there's a really good chance that the hair trap is full of hair. Considering I shower in here, Freya showers in here, Athena, obviously, hair isn't that long. And then same with Bobby. But I know, but just between Freya and I, a lot of hair goes down the drain. So I wanted to get in here. I am using the Barkeeper's Friend spray. This is great for polishing your chrome fixtures and then just scrubbing everything down. So I'm pretty much using this all over the shower. And then I am going to be taking apart the drain and completely cleaning that out. It was in desperate need of a really good cleaning, so I'm glad I got that done. Plus, that is an area, if you're ever noticing a smell coming from your bathroom, often, obviously, we always think of the toilet. And yes, the toilet can get stinky, especially if you have kids and everything, but your drains hold a lot of smells. So if you're ever noticing your bathroom not smelling quite right and you've cleaned and cleaned and cleaned, highly recommend clean out your shower drain or bathtub drain and then clean your sink drains. Oh, sink drains always like give me the heebie-jeebie creeps because they get so dirty so quickly.
You're playing your cards with your queen of hearts. When everyone folds, your fork still holds. Your place in your bed, showing no regret. Close your eyes to hide your lies, roll the dice. You got me tiptoeing around you like you made up talking rude. You're playing a game, driving me insane. Your heart is back.
I don't know about you, but I always struggle with these little caps. So I always have to grab either a screwdriver, or here I grabbed a like stronger pair of scissors to pop it off. But you can see all of this buildup in here. So I try to get as much off with my hands, but then I did end up just taking it to the sink and really rinsing and cleaning it off and cleaning out this whole basin. This is a great time to put down some baking soda and vinegar as well if you have it on hand. I ended up at the end just throwing some bleach down there. If you are not afraid of bleach, which I am not, to me there are just sometimes, bleach comes in handy, and a stinky drain like this is definitely one of them. So clean it all off. Put it all back together. This is something that is actually so simple to do, but I feel like many of us forget to do it on a regular basis, but then just pop it back in place and the drain was running perfectly all over again. But I'm just gonna rinse everything down really, really good, trying not to get the chrome fixtures too wet, especially since I had just polished them with my glass polishing cloth before moving on to the actual glass. So that actually reminded me. So I saw someone the other day that says, as a housekeeper, things that they would never have in their house. And one of those things was glass showers like this. And I would love your opinion. Now, don't get me wrong. It can be a lot of work keeping these clean. However, I love my glass shower. Our bathroom is a pretty good size, but it's definitely not this massive master bath. And I feel like having these glass shower doors just makes it feel so much bigger. And as long as you stay on top of the glass, it never takes me too long to really, really clean it. But it is definitely one of those things where it can be a little bit more work, but I'd love your opinion. I feel like if we would have went with a frosted glass or like one of those half walls, it really would have closed off this bathroom, and it was one thing I was trying to avoid. Like I said, I know this is a good size bathroom. It's actually bigger than the one in our last house, but I also know it's not like one of the biggest master bathrooms I've seen before. So I would love your opinion. Is this a complete no to you, or is it something that you would really like as well?
Gonna make it someday. Nothing's gonna get in our way. We will be the biggest band in town. Round and round the world we'll go, putting on the greatest show. So make sure that you don't miss out, just be there. We're taking our shot, bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million when we're backstage. We'll play loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on.
It always feels so good when the bathroom is like completely reset. It's one of the best feelings in the world. But I'm just quickly moving back into the bedroom to do the floors out here as well. You guys know me. This wet dry vacuum is a must nowadays. This saves me so much time and energy and just makes my life a million times easier. Between this and my robot vacuum, these are life-changing type tools when it comes to maintaining a clean house, because there's just so much to keep up with that being able to vacuum and mop all in one go, I love this. I do this every time we have a showing. I send Bobby and the kids, either they take Bobby's truck and head out before me, or I will send them in the car and give me like 20 minutes to quickly go around the house with this thing to clean all the floors. But yes, if you guys have not jumped on the train of a wet dry vacuum, I know there are a lot out there and I have not tried them all, but a lot of the new ones, a lot of them have the same features. Mine is the Eureka. I love this one. It has a self-cleaning function. It also has a auto dry function, which is really important. I feel like if you are looking at any models, the biggest thing is that it has a drying function, because otherwise the older models definitely used to get like a musty, mildewy smell if you didn't take them apart and let them fully dry, where this one does not. You still have to remember to obviously empty the dirty water, because you don't want to just leave that sitting in there and getting stanky. But when it comes to the actual brush roller and everything like that, the self-drying function does all the work for you.
Oh, just be there. We're taking our shot. Bring what you got. We're going all the way to the top. We will hear the sound of 1 million people screaming our names when we're backstage. We're playing loud, surfing the crowd. Everybody's jumping around. Yeah, that's the place where I wanna be. Going on stage, headline on a Saturday night. Saturday night.
This kitchen on this day, luckily, was not too bad. Now, I know for a lot of people be like, not too bad, there's stuff everywhere. But considering we are a family of 6, this is not the worst it can be. Our kitchen gets insane quick. Honestly, it literally just takes one meal and the kitchen looks like this. But I was happy it wasn't too bad. When it comes to the dishwasher, normally the boys empty it and load it. However, it's still summer vacation for them. They actually don't start school till August 11th. So even though I'm in like back to school mode, they definitely are not yet. So they sleep till like noon, 1 o'clock. I totally let them do that since I know they are growing a ton, and I remember what it's like being a teenager or preteen and just wanting to sleep. So I unloaded the dishwasher, reloaded it, and then I'm just washing the stuff that I'm not putting into the dishwasher. So Athena's tray, the wooden cutting board, things like that. Also, if you wonder why this bowl is like almost always in the sink, this is the bowl that I specifically use to melt and heat up Athena's milk for her when she eats. So we almost always have that in the sink because we'll just fill it with hot water, throw her bag of milk in it, and let it sit there till it's thawed and warmed for her. But I wanted to make sure to scrub everything down and just get it, like I said, as clean as possible. The kitchen sink, just like the bathrooms, if you're ever noticing a weird smell and it's not your trash cans, because that's usually the main culprit, check your sink drain. Cleaning out that sink drain, cleaning out that sink often will get rid of any of that weird lingering smell that is around your house. But the other thing I wanted to put away is our sous vide machine. I hadn't quite found a spot for it, so currently it was on the counter, but I knew I want to get rid of that, get rid of any leftovers. Now, usually with leftovers, I let them sit in my fridge for about a week, and on weeks like this, they're a little bit more crazy because we hosted family dinner. So whenever we host, we always have a lot more leftovers compared to weeks that we don't host. So anything that's been in the fridge for over a week, I'm just putting it all into this bowl because we take it outside to our ducks and they get to eat it. This is their favorite time of the week because they get all the leftovers. So they're getting noodles and coleslaw and taco meat and literally everything. They're like human or bird garbage disposals. So they get all of that, but I did also have some barbecue pulled pork that I made just a couple nights before this, and I wanted to freeze that. I always make a huge batch of it because I know this is one of those meals that I can easily put in the fridge for a couple days for leftovers, but then I put it in gallon-sized Ziploc bags, freeze it, and it gives me 2 additional meals that I don't ever need to think about. If you're ever like, oh, I don't like to food prep, I get that. I love the idea of food prepping. I often don't make the time for it, but there are always certain meals that I know I can make a big batch. It doesn't take any more effort than making a small batch. And then I have meals for down the road where I'm like, okay, I'm just going to pull this out, get me some rolls, or you could even do like wraps with this. And it's an easy weeknight meal, especially with school starting up, that I can just pull out, heat up, and we are good to go.
Doesn't even matter to me where I coffee cup to go, and I'm gonna hit the road tonight. Now my wheels in motion and my windows open with the wind blowing in my hair. I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go. Turn up the stereo in a place I didn't know.
Oh, so I also know some of you be like, oh, you have eggs in the fridge. So eggs do definitely last longer in the fridge, and we still have so many of them. I've actually been giving them to friends and family and neighbors, and we still have a crazy abundance of them. So I did put some of them in the fridge just so they will last longer. But here I am just quickly organizing out the refrigerator. It's not too bad, so this was a really quick process. I like to do this before any groceries get delivered, or once again before going on a trip, because it just gives me an idea of exactly what's in the fridge.
I'm driving down the highway, gonna do this my way. I can feel it in the air. Here I go.
All right, so here is a question for you while I'm cleaning out the garage. Being from Wisconsin, we have a cheese drawer. Now, I will mind you, our cheese drawer is also a cheese and meat drawer. But I'm curious because I often have people that don't know that that's a thing. Do you have a cheese drawer in your refrigerator or a cheese and meat drawer? You can see we have like lunch meats and stuff like that down here, along with little squeezy yogurts. But then we have cheese. I mainly do block cheese. I used to have baked cheese all the time, but ever since they came out with those really cool cheese graters that make life so much easier, I now pretty much always buy the block cheese. There are some days that just for convenience reasons I buy a baked, but almost always fresh grated cheese is just so much better. And those things are so easy that even the boys do it when they want quesadillas or anything like that. But quickly going just through the door portion, making sure anything that is expired or we just don't use is put away. And then once again, grabbing out my Swiffer duster because yes, even dust and dog hair and everything get onto the cabinets and all of those. So going around giving everything a really good dusting before going in and giving it a really good cleaning. And I'm going to be using my mop to clean my cabinets. This is the quickest, easiest way to clean your cabinets. Now, I always say there's different techniques to clean different things, and sometimes it's a good enough way, and some of it is just a much better way of going about it. Like cleaning your floors. Okay, the wet dry vacuums, is it the best way to go about doing them? No. Is it the most efficient and quickest and does a good enough job? Absolutely. Best way to do it would be get on your hands and knees and scrub it like that. But most of us are not doing that on a regular basis. And for me, if you're willing to do something like a wet dry vacuum and you're never going to get on your hands and knees, it's better than not doing anything at all. Same here when it comes to using my mop. This does a really good job, especially I'm just using some hot water, powdered Tide, and then a little bit of bleach in here. Now, if I want to do a more thorough job, that's when I'll go in with a spray cleaner, 2-cloth method, ladder, and get all in there. But that just takes a lot more time, mainly because I'm having to get up and down a ladder to do it, where this is super quick and it does a pretty good job. So I actually do my cabinets more often because I will just quickly do this than if I was going to pull out all the supplies to do it one cabinet at a time by hand.
I'm just fine 'cause I got you. Rain got in my way before. kept us bothering. Every day we dance and life's been smiling. We're not young, still drunk in love. Oh, I got you, there's no reason to chasing payment on my own, 'cause you're here.
So I'm always hearing these different things, and I'm often shocked by hearing that these are confrontational conversations that I never even thought was a thing. And I would love your opinion, because I was shocked. I thought there was only one way of doing this, and I guess from what I saw in the comments, the majority of people actually don't do this. So I need your opinion. When you go to a gas station, do you leave your car running when you're pumping gas, or do you turn the engine off? I always thought you turn the engine off, like, every single time. I'm pretty sure it says on the pump to turn it off. But I was actually surprised, like I said in the comments, I was the minority in thinking that. Most people leave their car running, and I was just flabbergasted because I didn't even know that thing. Like, I don't know about you, but I grew up being told that if you left your car running while you were pumping gas, you were going to blow up and blow up everyone around you at the same time. Now, that may be just as big of a lie as I'm sure a lot of you were told growing up. You can't turn the lights on in the car when it's dark outside because you'll get pulled over. It's against the law. But yeah, do you pump your gas with your engine running, or do you turn your engine off? I'm very, very curious. Maybe that video just hit a certain age group where they don't do it, and us millennials do. I don't know, but I would love to know, because yeah, I always turn my car off. Like, I did not even know this was a thing that some people didn't.
'Cause I don't wanna slow this down. My heart is screaming out your name. I'm wasted on you. Here we are, right underneath the stars. So let's get a little reckless. You make me breathless, and I won't waste this. And I promise that I will stand by you forever. I can't get you.
I have been absolutely loving this sous vide, but it is a big piece of kitchen appliance. I love having it. It has made just like quick, easy dinners or lunches so much easier. But I will say it has made me thought that in our next house, I really want to create some sort of like walk-in pantry that's like a working pantry. So it's got like countertop space and stuff. It doesn't need to be massive, but just big enough that I could put things like my sous vide on there and my rotisserie, things like that. My big appliances that I love using, but always have to find storage space for, because I love that thing and I would love to just keep it out at all times. But I also love the look of a kitchen that has cleaned off countertops. Like, you guys know me. Everything that's on my countertop is very practical stuff I use on a daily, other than pretty much the piece of plant that's there. But like my cutting boards, I use those every single day. Even this little cake tray often has snacks and stuff in it, baked goods that I have made. So I use it on a regular basis, but it's also pretty. And that's how I like to style my kitchen. Practical, yet pretty. And the sous vide is just so large that I just can't leave it out on the counters at all time. Now, I will go like a couple days without putting it away, especially if I've been using it a lot. But yeah, it just makes me think of future self, what I want in a kitchen. And one of those things is a walk-in pantry with electricity, so I can put out my sous vide, air fryer, rotisserie, my toaster, things like that. Stuff that is nice to have out, but I just don't visually want to see it all the time. It's funny because I look at people like Kim from the Wads. She's got like my dream pantry size-wise. But I look at it and I'm like, oh, if she would just do like this, it would be so much more practical and everything. And I see those big walk-in pantries and I always just like daydream of what I would do to them for practical organization, but also ease and convenience, because they definitely are like a dream to have. Our pantry is, as you guys know, pretty small. It works plenty good. It's probably about the same size pantry we had in our old house, but we did have to put it in because there was no pantry space in this house. And there is no way not to have at least a small pantry when you've got a large family, unless you are literally shopping daily. And that is definitely not something that I want to do by any means. So a pantry is a must just to have at least the basics and stuff. I was talking though to Xander the other day. We went school shopping. I took Bjorn and Freya a couple days ago, and then just the other day I took Xander, and I needed to pick up flour because I had used up all the flour and didn't realize that I was completely out. And I was showing them that my mom used to get these like massive flour things. They were like the 50-pound bags or whatever. And we had a huge Tupperware container in our basement that she would put that bag of flour into. And then whenever she ran out, she would send one of us kids downstairs with our small Tupperware container that we kept in the kitchen all the time to refill it. And I'm like, I just want to be able to do that type of food storage because it's one of those things that it's a bigger upfront investment, but in the long run saves you so much money and so much time of the back and forth and everything. So in the future, all the things that go through my head, I would love to be able to have more storage space. I also would love to be able to like can and preserve more food, and I just don't have the space right now. So it's funny, all those things you just think about, even if a place like doesn't have, like, how can I create this? All the things going through my head. Obviously, we still have to sell our house for that even to be a possibility, which we're trying to decide how long we are keeping the house on the market before we pull it off until the spring. Purely because doing all this during the school year just does not sound like something I want to do. And we are in no rush. Like, we put it on the market because we did find a house that we love and mainly a land that we love. But I am also a firm believer that if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. And if it's not, it's not. So if we take the house off the market and put it back on the market in spring and that house is still available, amazing. If it's not, then it was not meant to be the house for us. But into the family room, I just did a quick tidy, but the big thing was this fireplace. I wanted to give it a really good cleaning. I have not really gotten up here and cleaned and dusted this off now in a couple months now. And it's one of those areas that I just forget about. But it's really nice just to take the time, dust everything off, dust off all the knickknacks and everything, and just get it looking fresh and clean and just keeping up with it. This is something that you don't have to do on a regular basis, but even if you can do it every 6 months, I feel like it just makes a big difference in the long run. And yes, I just use random books, usually books that the kids have read and aren't interested in anymore. I use those for decor often because, hey, why not? So yeah, that's a Roblox book, but hey, when you're looking at the shelf, you don't know it's a Roblox book. You're just playing with it. I refuse to go to like TJ Maxx or Marshall's and spend $50, $70, $80 on just a pretty decor book. I have gone to like the Goodwill and bought books that have pretty covers to them and are fairly neutral. But yeah, those decor books they have at those stores are so pricey just to basically sit on a table. I'm like, I can't do that. Now, if it was like a really good cookbook that I was actually going to use, I could justify it, but not like a coffee table book.
We're going away. I get you back. Check the tag. Journey for life. And I've already paid. Cancel your mail for a while. It's a journey for life, and I'm alright. Hang on. We'll be long gone. Hang on. I cannot go wrong.
I always bring up this diffuser, but it's because I get asked about it all the time. So I originally saw this diffuser on TikTok, but actually got it as a Christmas gift off of Amazon. It's a salt rock diffuser, and I do absolutely love it. I love the ambiance of it. It works really well. Some diffusers, just don't put out that scent as well. This one works absolutely amazing. Like I said, I got it right off of Amazon. Every year we do Amazon wish lists for Christmas lists. It just makes life so much easier. It's funny because growing up, and I want to know, in your family, are you a Christmas list family or a family that buys just like based off of what you know about someone? So if you see something like, oh, so-and-so would love this, so you buy it. Or are you a list person? So I grew up in a family where you bought what you thought someone would like. And Bobby grew up in a family where they did Christmas lists every single year. So we have gotten to where we do Christmas lists. We do it off of Amazon though, because we have people all over the country when it comes to family. It just makes life so much easier. And for that, I actually ended up getting 2 of those. So you guys would have noticed I have one in my bedroom and one in my family room. One of the few gifts that I am so thrilled that I actually got duplicates of, because I love that thing. I love having multiple of them. And honestly, I wouldn't mind having 1 or 2 more of them. By far though, my favorite scents to use in a diffuser is either going to be anything citrus. So I've got lemon, I've got orange, I've got tangerine. I think those are the 3 citruses I have right now. I also love vanilla scents. So right now I have a like coconut vanilla. It's a very coastal, Caribbean type smell. It smells so good. And what else? I love peppermint depending on the time of year. I actually screwed up and I was trying to buy pine because we love the pine scent, especially in the winter and fall and stuff like that. But I ordered wintergreen. That's what it was. Wintergreen, thinking it was going to be a pine Christmas tree type scent, and it ended up being like that wintergreen gum, that type of scent. It's still very good, but definitely was not what I was expecting. So if you're looking for pine, I recommend just typing in pine, because wintergreen is definitely not what I was thinking it was going to be.
If you wanna make it right, so do left right. Or don't look too tight, you know you gotta try. Yeah, keep the love alive. Oh, it's a tricky thing. Well, you gotta let it fly. You gotta give it wings, yeah. If you wanna make it right, so do left right. Don't look back.
Now, whenever you're using different cleaning products, I always say, but I'm going to say it again, make sure to test those products in a discreet area first. On the cabinets and everything, I'm using that same mixture that I used in the kitchen. Now, I did empty the bucket and redo the bucket because I didn't want to put like grease water, because let's be honest, cabinets in the kitchen are naturally going to get greasy, especially if you cook like I do. But same exact mixture, some Tide, some bleach, and hot water to wipe all this down. On my cabinets, I have no issue, but it is always, always, always good whenever you try a new cleaning product to test it somewhere that is a very discreet area. That way, if it doesn't work with what you have in your house, you don't need to worry about this. Oh, also, gotta love living in Florida. So I stopped here because a lizard was in the cabinet. Now, I'm not afraid of lizards. I actually think they are super cute and love having them around, but I don't love having them in my house. So I called Bjorn. He is our lizard catcher in our house. He can do it so quick and easily. So he came, grabbed that real quick, put it outside. That way I could finish cleaning. But yeah, lizards. Lizards are absolutely everywhere. And like I said, I'm not afraid of them. But I also am not like really interested in grabbing one and dealing with them. I love seeing them though. I love having them like running all over the place and everything like that. And then for all the wood products, I am using my Method Wood for Good. Oh, this stuff, is it necessary? Absolutely not. I tell you guys all the time, cleaning does not need to be complicated. You do not need all the cleaning things. But I am someone that loves cleaning tools and cleaning products, and I love testing new things. And the method Wood for Good, it does work really well. I love the shine it gives, but my biggest thing is the scent of it. Best scent in the world. I don't use it all the time, but when I use it, I'm always just like, it just makes me happy when I use it. So that is what I am using on all the wood on this day. And here you see me, I'm trying to figure out where to put this sous vide. So at first I was thinking this side, but it was pretty packed already. It has my dehydrator, my what is it called, rotisserie, things like that. But this side had a lot more room on it, so just a little bit of moving stuff around. Over here I keep a lot of like extra decor that might be seasonal. We keep the vacuum we use to brush the dogs. A lot of Freya's art supplies are in this cabinet. And this was a box of breast milk storage bags, which I don't need anymore. Thank goodness. I'm so happy to be done pumping for Athena. The one good thing about being an oversupplier is I was able to stockpile and stop at about 9.5 months, and it was the best thing in the world. But as you can see, I was able to get the sous vide in there, and I was very happy because I needed somewhere to put it. I like having it on the counter when I'm using it, but I don't use it enough to keep it out all the time. All right, I know this has been a longer video than I normally do, so if you guys are still with me, I am so happy that you are still here. And if you're a new subscriber and you haven't subscribed yet, I feel like you should. I feel like we're becoming friends, and subscribing is just the next step in our new beautiful relationship. So hit that subscribe button and don't forget to hit the notification bell. But now I'm just moving on to dusting the top of these shelves as well. This is another area I just don't get to on a regular basis. And this is when the camera is doing me dirty, because you guys don't even see how dirty these shelves are. They get so filthy and the camera just doesn't even show it. Here you can see a little bit better how these dusty and dirty these top shelves get compared to the white. I don't know. I think it's just the lighting, that the light above just kind of blows it out so you can't see all the dust and grime and everything. But yeah, they were in a desperate need. And I was taking advantage of a day that I was just motivated to get it all done. And I feel like that is so important. When you have those days when you are just motivated to do, I highly recommend just keep going, because you don't know when that day is going to hit again. Honestly, the past couple days, I have been motivated to do absolutely nothing. It is that time of the month for me, and I have just been tired and wanting to sleep, dealing with a massive headache. This headache just won't go away, and I don't know if it's hormonal or if it's weather related, because we've been dealing with so much storms and weather systems coming through. But I always take advantage of these days where I'm like, okay, let's go, let's get it done. I am motivated, and I just try and get as much done as humanly possible. And you can see I'm really trying to get in here and even dust off the knickknacks and everything, because we may think often about doing the shelves, but how often have you gone in and actually dusted your decor pieces? I feel like those get forgotten about just as often as those high up top shelves.
I think the other thing that really motivated me on this day is, I don't know if you could tell when I was in the kitchen, but how dark that window was. It was not early morning or late at night. It was just, we've been dealing with some gnarly storms here, and this was another one of those rainy days. I do often get a lot done on rainy days because I'm like, well, there's not really anything else to do. And it's kind of peaceful. I don't know about you, but that to me is peaceful. I used to be the type of person that would do like nighttime cleanings, but I feel like I got in that habit when Bobby was deployed overseas. And then once he got home, I really got out of that because once the kids are in bed and everything, that's like Bobby and me time. We spend the night together, and even if it's just cuddling and watching our favorite TV show, I do all of my cleaning during the day and usually in the morning. We actually joke around. So Bobby's more of a night owl. I am not a morning person, but way more of a morning person than he is. And with Athena and everything, I am often up by 6:30 in the morning. And I have been making sure to get out of bed at those times, especially with school coming up. So I will get up and sit on the couch, drink my coffee, wake up for like an hour, and then I just start working right away. And I was telling him the other day, I'm like, it's funny because I often feel like I'm slacking when you get up in the morning, because he'll wake up at sometimes 9, but often it's like 10, 11 o'clock in the afternoon, which is fine because, like I said, he stays up late. So if Athena or Freya is up in the middle of the night, he normally deals with them, so I don't mind him sleeping in. But I'm like, I often forget that I have already been up and working for like hours before you even get up. Because he's the type that he'll start like working on stuff in the house after 1 o'clock. Well, come like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm done. Like, I want to start getting dinner ready and everything and just winding down. And he's complete opposite. That's like when he's just getting into his groove of working around the house. And yeah, I'm like, nope, I'm like ready to sit on the couch and be my couch potato self and relax. So we are definitely complete polar opposites when it comes to that. But I am moving on onto the floors. Once again, pulling out my wet dry vacuum. That way everything can get a good mop. It can get a good vacuum. I also will often turn on my robot vacuum when I'm cleaning in different rooms. That way it can get like a quick initial vacuum. That way stuff isn't being tracked around the house and everything. But this is just kind of the finishing thing if I'm not using like a mop and bucket. And on this day, I was not using my mop and bucket. I just wanted to use this. I was definitely at this point starting to get over it and tired. So just bring this out, get it over with, feel accomplished, and be done for the day.
Just fine. You and I will always know where we belong. This ain't no ordinary love we got going on. I'll pick you up in my 59 Ford. We head on down the road until we get bored. Just you and me and the sun and the wind. If the rain should start falling, we'll head home again. Everybody else can see where we belong. Oh, ain't no ordinary love we got going on. At the end of the world, together forever is one, and I'll wait if ever you should be in.
Well, I really hope this video gave you the motivation that you needed. I know sometimes it is so hard just to get started. Like, the hardest part is always just getting up and getting moving and doing all of that. So I would love to know, what did you get done while watching me today? Or what do you plan on getting done now that you've watched today's video? Also though, if you made it this far, especially, this was a long one. We really spent a long time together getting so much done. Drop me this emoji down below. That's how I know who my true MVPs are, who stick around all the way till the end. Also, I would love if you would share this video. I want to do a little experiment, and I know you guys that stick around to the end are always willing to help me out.
Even if you don't share this video on your socials, if you hit the share button and copy the link, let me know, comment, share that you did it. I am trying to figure out the whole algorithm and everything. If you guys know anything about social media, algorithm is always changing, and you guys always ask how you can help me out. And honestly, the biggest thing you guys can do are watching my videos, like, commenting, and sharing. But yes, I am doing a little experiment to see if sharing makes a big difference in each video, and that way I can let you guys know what of those actions really does help out my channel the most. So do me a favor, share this video and comment share once you have, even if it's just copying the link to your clipboard, and I will definitely keep you in touch with how this works out and if that makes a difference with the algorithm and everything, because I'm always trying new things. But otherwise, I will see you guys in my next one. Bye.